Hi, Nick Collier here, and this is my shop. Come join me. We'll have some fun. Okay, it's the next morning. We flipped the rod around. We machined this part, got that good. Machined that part, got that good. So now we're back to the threads, and instead of kicking out the engagement each time, because my thread dial is totally screwed up, I'm just going to leave it engaged, stop the lathe at this point, and then back it up, and then reverse the lathe coming back, and then go back in and run it again. So first thing we want to do is make sure we still got 14 threads per inch. And we'll just keep running it in that way until we get the threads we want. And that is 14 threads per inch. Okay, so now take this back to 0. Yes. And we're going to add 10. We're going to put a little juice on it. Okay, we're engaged, we're set, we're ready to go. I think everything is good. Good. Okay, so that takes care of that. We can take the thread cutter out. Put it back in its case so it's well protected. And this part is done, and much easier than I thought it would be, because I was all set up. I'm gonna take a file and just kiss that corner there. Looks good. Okay, so now we flip it around and deal with the other side. Okay, now this side. Oh, we got to get a length first. Okay, this is the good side, and I think we should mark it just so we don't get screwed up. Good. And this is the not so good side. And we're going to go right to that edge right there. This looks a little long, but I see where the wear mark is right there. So I think we're in good shape. Somewhere in that general area. Let's get it on that side of the button. Okay, so we've got just a little bit of threads that are going to show on this end, but I think we're going to be just fine because I'm seeing the wear marks way back here. I think it's going to be just hunky-dory. Alright, so we just kind of eyeball this in right to there. And that's where we want to bring it down to this size. And this size is 930, and here we've got 975, I believe, or 985, so it's fairly close. 973, so we've got 40 thousandths to take off. Let's go ahead and get it back in here. And we'll get you the camera back up where it belongs. Okay, so we've got ourselves centered. We're gonna move up to our line here, which will be right about there. All right, let's take a measurement from that and see what we come up with. And what is? All right, there's our measurement. And we are at 9, 25, 35, almost 36. Let's just say 936. And how much do we have to cut off here? $966. So we have exactly 30 thousandths to take off. Uh-oh. Let's bring this back a little bit. Yeah. All right, 30 thousandths. take 20 and then a 10. I don't know. Those threads aren't going to disappear, and we're going to sit about a 1/4 inch into those threads. I'm thinking it might be good to go ahead and, yeah, at least a 1/4 inch. Go ahead and weld that up so that we can turn it back down and it be the same. Now most of it is the strength of the 4140. This last little bit will be just mostly visual. Alright, we're gonna see if we can set up the welder and see what we can do. Okay, let's start welding. We're just gonna weld up this last 3/8 of an inch or so. Alright. That looks pretty good. That did it. All right, we're going to let this cool down a bit, and we'll be back. Jason's in the background making all kinds of racket with grinders and welders and everything else, doing another project. So what we're doing is trimming down the diameter, taking off that last 10,000ths, I believe it was, and coming up with our shape. And then you know, my lathe is old, so it has a bit of a taper, so we come in with a file and take out that taper. And since we're here, let's go ahead and clean up this whole shaft. Just take it all the way back. There we go. It'll make it look nice for the customer. Well, I'm not sure what happened, but somehow about 20 segments disappeared on me, and so we leap from the lathe over to cutting the splines. And you're not going to get much explanation here because that all happened in the videos that got lost. So yeah, as you can see, I'm cutting the splines and we're moving ahead. Okay, so we've got our hub set up and we need to drill these 6 holes. I think we can just do it really without the rotary table, but I wanted the rotary table because it had the chuck and I could get center. So I think I want to bore this out just like a half a thousandths, just barely kiss it, in order to make this fit just a little bit better, because it's 975 on this side and 977 on that side. So I'm not going to mess with any of this here, but by the time we get down to the bottom here, we'll be taking off a thou. So let's see what we got. Get it squared up. That looks pretty good. Take our DRO to 0 and pull this thing out. All right, first thing we're going to do is go ahead and bore that out and see what we come up with. Whoops. And that's as far down as we can go. Damn it. Oh, it's okay. We can just take the bit out. And the one Allen wrench I need, of course, is missing. So we're using an alternate, which is not a bad deal. We get that in. Tighten it up. And drop our Allen back in. Make sure we're where we want to be. I think we are. Snug it down further. Well, damn. It's not going to get that small. As far as it goes. All right. And I guess we just turn it around. Okay. Okay. No, that's going to be worse. All right, maybe we go to the other hole. And that's as far as that goes. Ha! Well, that's not fair. All right, well, I've got a smaller head, but let's take the bit out. Well, first, before we do anything, we've got to find out if we have a bit for this smaller head. I'll be back.